What's going on, guys? Congrats on another successful week. Sunday night, going through the footage to put the vlog together, kind of recap my week. And I realized that there was a kind of a consistent theme throughout, my week this week that I want to talk to directly because I think it'll add value. I think it's something you can keep in your back pocket, and it applies to a lot of different things. So simple, like most things, right? Everything important is simple, and that rule usually doesn't change. The idea that value is what makes the world go around. The idea that making a person, the person across from you, the person you're working with, the person you're trying to collaborate with or get along with, making them feel valued, making them understand that you care and you appreciate them is the difference between failure and success a lot of the time. And I remember the first time, I call it a light bulb moment, first time this happened for me or occurred for me, right out of college. I went into the corporate world, which I talk about a lot. I kind of give a bad rap to. It wasn't quite my thing, but I learned a lot there. And this is one of those things, is the realization that, sitting next to someone that's 20, 30, even 40 years older than me, having conversations, trying to fix problems, people stay the same, with regard to, their approach and their basic human needs. People want to feel valued. And I remember when I learned that and sort of changed my approach to problem solving, I ended up taking a lot more from the situations. When I got more people involved, when I got their feedback, when I made them understand, hey, I'm not doing this for any other reason than to make our jobs better. People jumped on board. People wanted to be part of it. And I'm seeing this theme consistently pop up, or at least opportunities where I can inject that into my day-to-day. So I'll give you a few examples. One of them wasn't this week, but I think it's a really good one, so I want to make sure I include it. About a year ago, I was creating a video like I do every week, and I was using some what's called Creative Commons footage, which means anyone can use it as long as you credit the videographer. And so I did that, and I put the video out, did very well, and this particular person decided at some point that they didn't want it to be Creative Commons anymore, and I had to deal with the whole copyright strike thing and a lot of stuff that felt very unnecessary and unfair at the time. And so my first instinct, like most people's first instinct was shots fired, right? I want to make this person feel pain. I want to come out with a W, and I want to make sure they lose and know why they lost. But I remember emotionally kind of separating from that and sending a conversation or sending a message. I'm thinking like, why is this person acting like this? Well, they feel like they're getting ripped off. They feel like they're getting the bad end of the stick. They're not, is that the term? Bad end of the stick? I don't know. They're not appreciated. That's what I mean to say. And so I sent a message and I said, look, I appreciate the work you're doing, right? I feel like I've followed all the steps and done everything within the rules and guidelines. How can I make sure on your end you're happy and people are seeing, the work you're doing and have access to your great, content? And we worked out a solution. Like, that could have easily been a nightmare thing had I not handled that the way that I did. I'm seeing that happen a lot now in business ventures, little compromises, coming to terms, making people understand that I know your interests may be slightly different than mine, but at the end of the day, we want the same thing. We want to succeed. You're great at what you do. I'm great at what we do. How can we as a team knock this out? And I know that seems like nuance. It's not like, this insane secret thing, but just that notion, it just decompresses the situation. It's not me versus you. Human beings are always polarized. We're tribal, and we feel that, and we gravitate towards that. So if we can immediately eliminate that, it really helps mitigate the bad stuff and helps both sides work on what they do, complete what they need to complete. I was having a lot of conversations, this week around different things. Obviously comes up a lot in social situations. And, recently I was getting my hip flexor, checked out. I've been having a few issues, and the doctor was, saying some, not flattering things about Trump, which is fine. A lot of people do, and asked me about it. And I remember saying, You know, he's done things I like, he's done things I don't like. Just like the previous president, he's done things I like, he's done things I don't like. You know, this is not a take sides thing, this is a case-by-case thing, because there's no need to be tribal, right? And I think right away, again, you see her defense is lower, and it's like, okay, this is not, I'm not going to war here, we can have a conversation, and it's just a lot more pleasant. If you give the person across from you the benefit of the doubt, if you make them feel valued, even if you're on two totally different ends of the spectrum, if you assume that they are moral people with good desires, wants, and needs, and you can meet in the middle, good things happen, right? And so just take that with you, right? Next time you're in a situation where things become hostile or tense, let the person know that they're great at what they do, and let's take a step back and let's both figure this out. So that's that. Get off my soapbox now. I am heading to Cuba in about 5 hours. Actually, this is a scheduled video, so I'll be in Cuba when you're watching this. But got some really cool things coming. You know, one of the things years ago I promised myself when I made this channel was focus on building, focus on adding value, focus on content, and when you're ready to pivot, and you can pivot. And you know, I feel like I'm at the point now where I have the capacity and the ability to do new things. So there's no internet there. I really mastermind this, and I have some exciting things coming up. I have a course library, a shirt of the month club. I'm working on canvas art, a lot of really fun things that I'm excited to show you guys and get your thoughts, and you know, hopefully keep marching forward. So thanks for watching. Have an amazing week, and we'll be back next week. More good news, more fun stuff, more insight, and any questions, per usual, feel free to send them my way. Twitter's probably the easiest, at I am Eddie Pinero, or Instagram, I am at Eddie Pinero, and I'll make sure I address them on these weekly videos. So take care, guys.